I'm Ryan Kelly, and we're here at the 44th Annual California Bus Association Convention and Trade Show in Alpine, California. And I have the pleasure of speaking with Vic Parra. Vic, thank you for spending some time with us today. Now, tell us, what you got going on these days?
Well, first of all, it's good to see you, Ryan. It's
Likewise.
good to be here with everyone. Since I retired back in March, I really miss the industry, I miss the people, so it's great to be back here and connecting with so many friends that I have in this industry. So, since I retired from UMA back in March, I've been working with Corporate Finance Associates.
Okay.
They're based in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're very much involved in mergers and acquisitions. And we work with a lot of private equity groups to finance these deals. And what's interesting is in the last 2 years or so, private equity groups have been very anxious to get more engaged with the bus industry.
Wow.
And the reason they want to be, and this is something that was a surprise to me and a surprise to a lot of people, is they really like the industry because of tangible assets. They really like tangible assets. And the fact that the business is fairly steady. It doesn't have major swings like you might have in the technology world.
Yeah.
So the idea of getting involved and helping some of these guys take equity out of their business is very exciting for them, because in the last 2 years there's been a buildup of private equity money sitting on the sidelines. It's called dry powder.
Wow.
And $2 trillion worth. So that's a T. There's a lot of money that's anxious to be invested. And so as an individual investor, I give money to a private equity group and I say, invest this in good companies. And so, and not a lot has happened. And so they're anxious to get these deals going. So they approach us, and we work with over 1,500 private equity groups around the country, ranging from Warren Buffett,
Wow.
and Berkshire Hathaway on down to the $250 million private equity groups. So there's a lot of money out there for this industry, and unlike the venture capital guys, who are much more involved in risk, the private equity guys are risk averse to a large extent. And so they like the industry because it doesn't present the kind of risk that some of their other investments might be. So it's pretty exciting working with these guys, and we've got about 8 deals going on right now. Obviously I can't talk about what they are, but it's a very exciting time, and we're helping companies with exit strategies, but not just exit strategies, figuring out how they can grow their businesses. Because the private equity guys, once they acquire a company, will keep the management team in place. A lot of people don't realize this. They keep the management team in place to the point where they'll do a contract with them. They'll keep the owner in place if the owner wants to stay, and even allow that person to retain 15%, 20% equity in the business. So as the business continues to grow, that 15%, the value of that 15% continues to grow as well for the owner. So he has pocketed 85%, put in his pocket, and he's still working the business. The risk has gone away. He has access to capital from the private equity guys. So it's a great working arrangement, and we've done some great deals. There are companies out there that feel like they have new life because they've had this infusion of cash and this financial backing that, and we know what capital means to this industry. So having that capital behind them to be able to do the things that they couldn't do, go after those contracts that perhaps they didn't have, to buy the buses they would have liked to buy that they couldn't buy, to expand into new markets, to acquire that company down the street that's anxious to move on, and so the private equity guys will provide that kind of funding. It's a very exciting time for our industry, and for me, it's great to stay reconnected with all these wonderful people that we have here.
How many CBAs have you been to?
That's a very good question. I have to tell you, the first bus association meeting I went to when I joined UMA in 1998 was CBA.
Wow.
So this organization holds a special place in my heart. They're great people, competitors, but they work together and share resources, and that's why this organization continues to be strong, because there's partnerships among competitors. Coming out of the technology industry, we use the term called co-opetition, you know, where there's competition, but there's a reason to cooperate and work together. So I'm having a great time.
That's
I'm
awesome.
having an absolutely great time. So.
And actually doing something that's really needed in this industry.
Yeah.
I mean, people need to start thinking about actually getting this type of money as well as the exit strategy.
The exit strategy is critical for some guys, and you know, we've got some deals going on where, you know, unfortunately, the owner doesn't have any children to pass the business on to. So he or she is stuck with what do I do? I don't want to just shut down the operation. You know, I'm getting older. I have I've got issues, whether health issues or whatever, and I want to move on. And that's where the private equity company can come in and provide them with the capital, enable them to transition out of the business. And the private equity guys are smart in that they realize they don't know how to run this business or those companies, so they want to rely on that management team to run those companies. They put them under contract, pay them a salary, do the same thing with the owner, and so it's a real win-win situation.
That's awesome. We're here with Vic Parra, a legend in this industry, and we thank you for taking some time and spending some time with the CBA. It's good to see you as always, and I'm happy with your new journey.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you to all my friends here at CBA for allowing me to crash their party. It's great to be here. Thanks, buddy. Take care, my friend.